not how I wanted to make this video, but I feel like I've been holding on to this information for a bit too long, and it's gonna tell you a little bit of storytelling. That we'll get back to that. To get to that, I'm gonna have to tell you about the night that I almost got stabbed. In 2 different nights. Have you ever had a dream that was so real, you swore it was real, but you were there before it even happened? Premonition? That happened. I'll say one of the many names of the people that were there the night. It could have just been me tripping. It could have been me not tripping. But yeah, we're gonna bump you off. Yeah, we're gonna bump you off. So I'm chilling there in the dream. It starts off nighttime, corridor. It's near a school. School's on one side. There's a brick wall near the other side. I've been known for this, even as a kid, to climb the walls, feet on one side, hands on the other. I'm chilling with another friend. I'll omit the names. XYZ happens from previous events. I can't tell you those events either. Man arrested for everything, you know? And I jump up the wall in the dream, and I sit there and I wait. And I'm looking down, back against the school wall, feet against the brick wall, looking, waiting to get stabbed. And I'm like, how am I gonna get myself out of this pickle? And then I wake up. Lo and behold, years later, I meet this very person, Herman. Exact same night goes past. Years past. Behind the school. There is no brick wall. Same people in the dream. Omit one character. But nonetheless the same. That may sound irrelevant, but that brings me back to this. I have information that I shouldn't have been holding on for this long, but I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to present it this way. But getting back to why, for this entire channel, I was even constructing this vehicle. That Eldritch abomination is out there in the cosmos, and I can prove it with a dream. It sounds goofy, but it's not. Trust me. In this very car that I was constructing, there's a blue alien. You can see it on Gaia. Their documentary. Blue alien, black lenses in the eyes. The lenses aren't black. In the dream, it started off. I'm in the car, sitting in the passenger seat of my own car that I'm building, already built. And I turn, I look over, and the alien's eye is black, and I see the panic in my eyes. And it goes, wait. Pulls out basically a protective case for it that we would have. And it goes, in those same little Bondo dent pullers that you have. That, but smaller. It pulls it and it puts it on its iris. It pulls down, takes one out, puts it in the case. Goes, puts another one, and it puts it in the case. And then the alien, its eyes, it was just mesmerizing just to look at. It was just not 1, 2, 3, and then 6 broken numbers. No. Perfect 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 62. On and on and on. It was mesmerizing. And it was telling me something, and I couldn't figure out what it was telling me, because sometimes it's hit and miss. Sometimes you get verbatim what it is. Sometimes you do not get verbatim what it is. And it was just murmuring. It's like the Bill Burr skit. There's a little girl standing in the corner, and he's going, I can't understand you. Come closer, but I can't understand you. You can search it. It was like that. And then it said something to me, and it was murmuring. Not this. I got up out of the car, got her onto the other side, carried it out of the side, and I was like, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. And I couldn't remember for what reason it was doing that at the time. And I was like, okay, that's odd. And at the time, I was sleeping in the basement. I was working, insomnia, you can't sleep. So I'm working. I'm in the basement. I'm sitting there looking at the screen on the ceiling. And then panic sets in from that dream. Because I don't know, I remember every single one of my dreams. And that's not the only dream I've had with aliens. This one, I'll tell you about that one. The one with the alien. And another one when I was in bed, lying down. Ship broke through the fence. And there was gray aliens in the backyard. And I remember in the dream looking through the curtains and not even saying in the dream, just thinking, oh my god, those are aliens. And they torqued towards the window. And I want to see me jump in that bed so quickly to try to wake up. But it's going to be pointless for me to say, let's digress, because I'm going to need to say it continuously. Of course, say it. Now, in the original video, you can check on the channel, you can see that I had mentioned something about an arc reactor. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, from 2020, this hasn't really been a bluff for me. Just been waiting and patiently trying to get this done as quickly as possible. You can see on this iteration there's only 6 bolts. But now that I have it constructed, it's 12 bolts on each one. I'm not even sure if I should release the CAD files for this one, just because it's kind of dangerous. I don't think people are going to willingly put their own serial numbers on it. But I would if people would put their own serial numbers on it. Once again, I digress. We're going to have to come back to these vehicles and that Eldritch Abomination. Don't worry. Minus any important pictures, I'll throw them up there. You can see in all these vehicles, more or less they look the same. If you weren't looking closely, you're nearsighted like I am with astigmatism. You might see these at a quick glance being very, very similar, almost even the same. Only with a break in these two because of the front grills. But these 4 especially, they all have the similar front grill. They all look like exact iterations. That brings me back to the night I almost got stabbed. Right there you can see a formula for something that you now know as the tensegrity table. I do not call it the tensegrity table. I call it the AB table. That was a design that I had created to be an analogy for how the arc reactor works, how you get it to actually be self-sustaining. Take it with its solid fuel, its gaseous fuel, you put it in its container, I'll show you later in a couple minutes, and you take it to a very powerful Tesla coil and you hit it with electricity, and then you take it to a smaller Tesla coil and it self-stabilizes it, very much like how you get that quote-unquote tensegrity table to lock into place. I call it the AB table because it was never just supposed to be one table. You may look at it as the top being A and the bottom being A, but it's not the top A and the bottom A, because that's just one section of a whole unit. You're actually supposed to take 2 of those tensegrity tables and flip them, and then in the center it was supposed to be a an analogy for how the arc reactor works, but instead of the arc reactor, it was Rindar Finsred's designed, where he has a ball sitting and it's constantly dipping below itself. And they create that as an analogy. And I think they wanted to stab me for that, which I don't really care. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for a reason. we're gonna get clapped in the gulag by that fucking Eldritch Abomination. And I very much hope when I throw these images up on screen at the end that you're not watching this at night or in bed. It's quite terrifying. It seems stupid until you see the rest of the photos. But it's known as the AB table. Not a tensegrity table. And it was supposed to be designed so where it could float and have Rindar fins for its design slightly altered so it can work in any single axis. So you can go online and click and scroll after this video and see all the freaking tensegrity tables being sold. I don't care about that. As long as I get the recognition for coming up with it, I don't really care. Let's digress. Back to the dream with the alien. It was in the car. I turned over. I panicked. It put the lenses away. It was saying something. And now with hindsight, I can pick up at little details in the dream. I really hope you're not eating or watching this at night, because you're going to be scared. I guarantee you. It turned the mirror up towards the sky, and I was like, why are you turning the mirror up towards the sky? And I was confused. And then when I woke up and I saw it on the Windows 10 home screen, I saw it, I panicked, I snapped, because in the dream, the blue alien was a good guy, but it was still very fucking scary. I can tell you that much. Sorry if this isn't kid friendly, but we're gonna get clapped in the gulag. That thing is, for all intents and purposes, a 7-foot tall bandsaw with no wheels on the top or bottom that tension it to move the bandsaw. It's literally like an alien civilization. Wasn't smart enough, was dumb enough to build the most advanced tunnel-borne machine. And then one day they were sitting around and were like, we can use this as a weapon. And then they did. And then they fucking lost it. All those UFOs you're seeing in the sky, I think that's why they're fucking here. I think they lost that tunnel-borne lethal weapon machine. Just whoosh in the cosmos. How can I prove it? Wait for it. Will it focus? I actually have this as my home screen right now. It's very hard to see on this one. Right there, you can see there's an alien in the sky with an R on its face. And I'll point up the other video if you can't see it. It's very hard to see, but right now I'm pointing at the I. Right now I'm pointing at the R. You can see the clear B line, and you can see it's wearing something like a turtleneck. The eyes aren't black, it's a lens on the eye. And this is the part that's scary. Because you're not going to just see it in this one. It doesn't matter what part you go. If it's any documentary, any part of the sky that you see it, it's there. And it's not the only one that's there. When you go, you can see the alien there. These faces are all overlapped. And I'll throw up the actual images so you can see them way more clear. There's Mark Twain, Prince over here, and Nikola Tesla. And they're all overlapped. So, right there again, these aren't as clear as just the raw pictures I'm going to be throwing up. I'm doing this inverted. Yeah, right there is the R. And then, oh, come on, inverted. You're watching like, oh my lord, I see it. But I'm trying to get that right there is the eye of the alien. And then, right here is Nikola Tesla's eye. And then up there again. Right here. This is the easiest way to actually find this constellation of these faces, is to just look. I'm using my finger, to be honest. Just look for the R right there. And then, oh, these are all way blown out. Right there, you can see the alien and the turtleneck. Oh no! Oh no, Tab, come back! But yeah, there's the arc reactor. I have all the math and stuff for this, if you want to see it, and all the paperwork. I kind of feel I can't really hold on to this information any longer. So it basically works like a battery that's burning in an oxygenless environment. Solid fuel and gaseous fuel. So that's the triangle one. Separately, they have to be made out of glass. This is something to boil water and to filter it with a microwave. This also has to be made out of glass. This is supposed to be a lead container because it is technically going to emit radiation, but it's not that bad. You can probably stop with like a piece of paper, but just in case. And then, oh, wait, let me just spin it. And then that's the rest of the arc reactor. But like the arc reactor and like the jet turbine, I don't really feel like putting those CAD models up. Not to be a dick, but like, I kind of feel it's dangerous. You know? Because the jet turbine is not just a regular jet turbine. It has a motor on the front to spin it. It has a compartment on the back where you can add in. Let me just show you. That first piece there is copper. You can add in fuel there. That last one on the back is for an HPA tank to spin it. And you can also put in the electric coils, which I'm going to do. And you can add in as much gamma as you want. And completely get rid of the fuel propagation law. But I don't know what the fuck to do about that. I literally only made this channel to build shit because I had that nightmare. And when I told about that nightmare, it's not even just in one segment. First off, the dream started off where I was running at like 400 fucking kilometers an hour, and it felt like nothing. And I stopped because I saw two people I knew. I'm gonna make the names. And they were sitting in a black Ford F-150 truck, windows down, tinted windows slightly tilted down, they're sunk down, hiding. And I'm like, what's wrong? And then I'm like, there's something out there. Like, they're saying to hide on the radio or something. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just started running again. And then that thing sideswiped me like I was standing still. So, yeah. There's that. GG?